right, everybody, welcome back to the Iron Purpose podcast. This is the first time I've had 3 guests at the same exact time. I got my buddy Tim Sowers. I don't know where he's going to be when this video airs, but he's here for me. I got my brother-in-law, Jack, and I got my brother, Jonas. You've seen all these people before in different episodes, so it's cool to have them all together at once. It just kind of... But today is going to be a JABS episode. For those of you who don't know what a JABS is, it stands for Journey Alignment Brings Success. And, I'm a very big success over perfection kind of guy.
Wait, time out.
What?
Jack, you bring your water?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. That looks so delicious.
All right, carry on. Where was that at? That was at 22,
you cut out
40.
there for a minute?
What?
My feed just
No,
cut
you're
out
good.
for a minute. I'm back. Hi.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Welcome back, everybody.
Thanks.
Welcome back, Tim. JABS. We're going to keep it nice and short and sweet. It'll be like a 20-minute episode. And just kind of a little thing to kind of get us back on track. Something that's on our mind, something that is important to us. When you're thinking about boxing or Muay Thai, throwing that jab, you're kind of reaching for that distance, seeing where your target is so you can, bam, with a longer episode, getting into it for an hour. But we're not going to get into it for an hour, so I'm going to stop talking. But... thank you guys for coming on here. I appreciate it. But today we're going to talk about just community and the importance of it, and what better way to have an episode like this than having community here. You guys are some of people in my corner that I would, rely on if I had to go to battle for some reason and I was calling people up. You definitely would be in the top 3 choices, and then we'd go to war if we had to. But I know that you guys would have my back and vice versa. So appreciate having you on here. What you been up to lately? We'll start with Tim. What's going on, man?
Lots going on. Got an apartment. Moving in tomorrow night. Been busy there. I've been busy getting back into a lot more golf, basketball, things like that. Stepping away from the heavyweights a little bit. That's been a really big part of what I got going on. And to be honest with you, not much else. It's been a lot of preparation for getting moved out and getting things ready to go. So it's been pretty simple, pretty straightforward.
Love it. Jonas?
Well, I am currently in what could have been Tim Sowers' bedroom. Yeah. Me and JD Fish just got our own place. So that's pretty much it. We just moved in last week? No, 2 weekends ago.
2 weeks ago, yeah.
Kinda just decorated the house a little bit, got some stuff sorted out, did some side jobs, made some side money, and then went to Lake Jam, and that was about all.
Heck yeah. Jack, I'm going to ask you, it's anything different in that answer?
Me and Jonas pretty much live the exact same life now that we live together.
You're basically wearing the same thing.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
He's repping the hat, though. Jack's got the hat on. Love that. Love to see it.
We've consumed about 4 seasons of Sons of Anarchy, so there's definitely motorcycles on our mind. Definitely motorcycle clubs on our mind.
Yeah.
So,
Tim, let's see the new tat.
Oh, this one?
Yes.
I got to stand up a little bit. That bad boy?
Yes. What is that again?
That is the tail of the dragon. It is a road in Tennessee. So we got the front and the back of it with a dragon tail and a dragon head. And then on the back I got 318 over 11. There are 318 corners in this road, and it's 11 miles long. So that was a trip my dad and I did 2 years ago. We do every other year or so. We get out and we do a long motorcycle trip, and that was 2023.
That's amazing. Right back to community. It's important to have people in our lives to help us, not only through the difficult things, but also like when you're just living high on life. When you're motorcycling and you can look over and I get to share this experience with my dad. Like that's pretty neat. That's got to be a super cool feeling.
Absolutely. I learned, and we had some great conversations on that trip. The conversation you and I were having a little bit before that was a really big part of that. And it was just, it's precious to be able to spend that kind of time with your dad. We took our first trip when I was 19. And then our second trip when I was, I think I must have been 21. Then one at 23. We had to skip this year. But that's okay. We'll be back.
You'll get them again.
It's just a
I
pleasure.
love that.
Yeah.
Heck yeah,
It's a
man.
great
That's
time.
cool. Well, I kind of wanted to start off, talking about some community that's been important to me recently, and I wanted to obviously shout out to my wife and my son. Like, it's been really cool to have him grow and see him grow, see him smile, and watch Courtney be the rock star of a mother that she is to him. I would not be where I am today without her. And so shout out Courtney, you're amazing. So that's number one. But I wanted to do something that I wanted to kind of touch on one that isn't as a prevalent person in my life, but just how important it is to make friends and build that community around you. But I had her on the podcast a couple weeks ago, Morgan Bathke. She's a diabetic as well, and I was at the gym and I was working out. I was doing some curls, set my dumbbells down next to my phone and my pump remote, and I move and I bump the dumbbell and it falls over right on the face of this pump. Now this pump controls, their remote controls my insulin pump and everything that has to do with that. So if I want to eat anything, I got to type it into here. It was absolutely shattered. The screen was obliterated, and I was like, okay, well, now what do we do? So I didn't panic. That's number one. Don't panic. I finished my workout. I text Morgan and I'm like, hey, any chance you got an extra one of these? And or any idea of what I could do? And she didn't respond right away. So I call the company that makes these and was on the phone with them for like 45 minutes. Long story short, it was a Friday night and I wasn't going to be able to get one until Tuesday. And I needed to replace this one the next day. And it was going through my mind like, okay, what do I do? I need to be able to have this. I don't have a backup plan other than syringes, but that still won't get the job done. Morgan texts me while I'm on the phone with this guy. She's like, hey, call me. I might have an idea. And so I do. She says, well, I'm not home right now, but I do have an extra one of those in my closet. I could call you and we could figure out how you can get in there and try to get it. Long story short, I was able to get in there and get it and use it. And this one is actually hers, the one that I got. But shout out to Morgan because I didn't get a replacement pump till like that Wednesday, and I would have been absolutely screwed. So that, and you can go back and listen to that episode on how we met. But it was just a quick little. I saw her pump while we were at the gym, not her, her muscle pump, but her actual insulin pump. And
I'm a big pump guy too.
Yeah, I know you are. I saw you flexing there earlier. And we just got to talking, just something that we could relate to. And I was like, man, I want to pick your brain on some things when it comes to diabetes, and just that conversation initially talking to her. Fast forward all these months, it was something that really essentially helped save my life in the long run. I would have been screwed without that technology. So shout out to Morgan for that. But then just also I got to go on a trip recently, a couple of days ago, with some of my buddies to the Boundary Waters, and got up there and just got to escape civilization and the news and everything else for a couple of days and just fish and enjoy the stars. And it was really beautiful to be able to be up there and share that experience with those guys. But obviously my brother's growing up too. That's those guys are really important to me. Jonas, something that recently my mom bought a new house and she's going to be moving out of the house that we grew up in, and it never really hit me because I've been moved out for probably 5 or 6 years now, and I wasn't planning on moving out when I did. It just kind of all happened, so I never really had a moment of like, oh, I'm leaving my childhood home. But now that my mom is going to be selling that house, it makes me think about all the memories that we had growing up there, whether it was waking up before school started to go play Xbox and PlayStation, or all the football games that we played in that backyard. It's like, man, I really don't want her to sell that house. But then it hits me. It's like, it's not the house that made that so special. It's the people. It's that community. It's that family. And, I wouldn't be who I am today without them. And, Jack has been somebody in my life that's been awesome, been a huge piece of my life, that kind of came into my life when I started dating Courtney. And right away, like we were dating for like a couple months, and I don't remember the conversation, but I remember Jack saying like, well, what does it matter? He's family anyway. And I was dating her for like half a year. So that was like, I'm getting goosebumps. That was pretty cool for him to, accept me as a brother so quick. And then Tim, just running into you at the gym, you guys were talking, I'm pointing up here because that's where you guys are on my camera. Jack and Tim were talking, and Tim was like, yeah, I'm just trying to make more friends. And I was like, Bailey, we're friends now. And then, now I can, have a conversation with you. We were just having a conversation before this about pretty deep stuff, just like, just off the cuff, talking about different things like big, different conversations. And it's really cool. It's cool how you can just meet people and have those different people to have relationships with and be sharpened by. And I think it's very underrated. I think in nowadays,
fun things. On the local level, to kind of mimic what you said, like the three of you guys in this call have been so incredible for me. Having moved back to Brainerd, like each one of you means the world to me, genuinely. Like I would go to ride for you guys no matter what. You've been very accepting of me and getting me back. Like you said, you walked up, said, "Hey, we're friends," and I don't think I've been out of contact with the three of you basically since then. It might go in spurts because we're adults with busy lives, but
we can't hold hands the whole time. Yeah,
yeah, right. But it's been great. I grew up with a really, really strong cultural foundation of that community, and it got betrayed and it got taken away from me. Didn't have it for a lot of years, and now I was finally able to have it again coming back to Minnesota, coming back to Brainerd. So it just makes me ever the more grateful for it. And a big part of that, it was church, and that's kind of what we were talking about. I actually was listening to a message. I haven't been a part of a church for a couple of years now, and not for lack of want, just not sure where to go with it due to maybe more complicated past stuff. And I decided to turn on a message from my favorite pastor, John Clark. He has grace messages. They're out on Spotify. Phenomenal. And he's going through legalism with whichever book of the Bible he's in right now. And so he's going through various legalistic statements. And the statement was, you should go to church. And then his format was, I'm going to present to you what the Bible says. Now you can make up your mind. Is it legalistic or is it not, if someone says that? And one of the points he hit on that I really enjoyed and is pulling me back to finding a local church again, you are depriving somebody's ability to serve you with their gifts.
Oh.
If you're not a part of a church. And vice versa, you're depriving somebody else of your gift to serve them. And that was really when we first started talking about this jab, what I was thinking of. And I think I've talked about this a good bit now, and a little earlier we definitely talked about it, but the service mentality helped me out of some deep, dark places, certainly helps me day to day. But it applies not only to your marriage, your friendships, but it also applies to the community body. And when you find a good community, it's a community that wants to serve each other. So, it was seriously, the timing of the message couldn't have been any better for when I got that text like an hour ago, like, hey, we're going to do a jab, right? But community is that important. And I've noticed that, especially with you three, being able to, I feel like you guys actually like serve me, help take care of me. You're there for me. And so to be able to reciprocate that back and forth, at least I hope you feel the same way. It's truly a blessing and a reflection of that and God's design for the one another's, God's design for that community. He clearly designed us for it. So it's been super precious. It is so vital for a person to have community. You can get robbed of it for some short years, but I tell you what, it brings that value back tenfold. At least it did for me. So very, very close one to the heart for me. I was really glad I got to get on and talk about this. 100%.
Heck yeah, man. I love that. And it just goes to show, like church is a great example because it's a group of people that are striving to do better and to be better with their lives. And, the gym is a similar place. I can think of, work. You think of your coworkers and a lot of them who are trying to do better and be better. It's just great to be in that environment when you are able to serve each other within that battle. Like church, it's like people may be struggling with this or struggling with that. And you go, well, geez, man, that's what I struggled with. Let's battle this together. We're fighting the same guy. Come on, let's do it together, man. Let's get him, kind of thing. So that's what I think of when it comes to church. And I love how you brought up like we are depriving somebody of serving. There's one police officer who put out a video, and he said there was a little girl. They were at a gas station or something, and a little girl was standing behind him in line, and the mom was like, "Hey, my daughter, she told me that she wanted to pay for your coffee or your drink or whatever it was. And the officer's like, no, I can't do that. I don't want people paying for my stuff or whatever. And he kind of walked out and left and did his thing. And his video was him apologizing to that little girl, saying, I am so sorry. Like, I got selfish in a way and saying, I don't want you to pay for that. It may be against my policy for people to show appreciation and pay for things. But he's like, I took away the ability for that little girl to serve me or to do act of kindness. Like, I just pulled it out from under her legs and and I walked out. And to have that perspective is like, oh man, okay.
It's completely selfish. Yeah. And that's not to say that, you shouldn't be able to support yourself, take care of yourself, all those things, but it can be done so much better with people, and giving them the option to do that and then being able to fulfill that for them. Like, it's the same effect. I think people miss a lot that, like, when you serve others and you truly put others' needs above your own, you actually get an incredible amount of happiness from it. It makes your, when was the last time, and I'm sure each of you can think of this, maybe it will take a minute, but I know you felt it before, where you've done something for someone that made their day. And they had that smile. And you got to see that smile. And it wasn't that you gave her that smile, but it is at the same time, you know what I mean? It's not about you in that moment, but you get to see the joy that you're able to bring to somebody else's life, and it kind of reflects onto you, and you're like, wow, this person's having so much of a better day because I did something super simple. It could be simple in your mind, but it really meant the world to them. So there's an immense amount of joy for community, for yourself too, and being able to see how you can bring joy to others. It helps prove people's worth, which I think a lot of people struggle with. We're talking about social media being self-centered, being individualized. Go find me an Instagram reel with some philosophy that isn't all about you and what you're going to get out of it. You can't. Like, it just doesn't exist, right? So selflessness, really like to hit hard on that one, but it is in the crux of joy, for sure.
And I wrote down, and we were going to have a completely different topic, but that got derailed. But I have a quote that still applies, and it's: do you think for people not because of who they are or what they'll do in return, but because of who you are? And that's, that kind of puts it into like that selfless aspect of kindness and community. Is it, I need to be nice to this person, or I need to have Tim on the podcast because if I do, then he'll pay for my meal next time we're out, or something like it.
We'll see.
Don't actually do it.
Didn't stop me last time.
Right, exactly. It's like I'm not being. It's kind of hard for you too because you're family. I mean, you're stuck with me regardless. But like, it's not. I'm not trying to be nice to somebody just because I want them to be nice in return. It's what am I? It's not them. It's because of who they are, what they're doing. It's the kind of person that I want to be. It's the kind of person that I am. So I'm going to be kind, and I'm going to try to be there for other people. And for me, fortunately, it's worked out to where starting a friendship or relationship with somebody, they return that favor in ways where you never thought it was ever going to be possible. And again, I can think of like my pastor. I think of Corbin, my personal trainer, or other people that have really put into me because I was willing to have a conversation with them and put that in with them and build that relationship and build that bond. It's incredibly important. And I know there's a lot of people that I could talk for hours about all the people that have helped me along my journey. The people at work or whatever. Jonas, what do you got when it comes to community? Who are some important people in your life and why? Maybe they've driven you to purpose, or maybe they've brought you different avenues of your life that have, brought you to places that you thought you weren't going to go.
A couple. Well, I'll get the sappy ones out of the way. You three. No, but it's definitely, obviously, yeah. Like, you're my brother. I mean, me and Tim are getting closer as we go, but he's one of the boys. And we've had some very good conversations out of coffee or here or over text or phone call. And now living with Jack, it's interesting because I've never moved out of the house before. Like, my biggest move was moving into the basement. For 24 years, I lived in that house. And just like walking in here, like, me and Jack are just like, what do we do now? But we've had some pretty good conversations over the last couple of, like, 2 weeks and whatnot, and just being able to, like, hey, let's go to the gym. Or being able to notice that we've been sitting on the couch grinding Sons of Anarchy for the last 2 weeks. We're like, all right, dude, we're getting back to the gym this week.
Mhm.
It's nice to be able to have that like compatibility. And there, because like mom could have came downstairs and be like, you need to go to the gym. I'm like, no.
Right.
But
I was
I mean,
thinking about it, but
yeah,
now I don't want
yeah, exactly.
to.
But
Don't
it's
tell me what
nice
to
to be
do.
able to have like a same mindset in the house and say, hey, we're changing this for their diet, or we're going to the gym, or you know, no, we're gonna take a rest day. We're gonna watch a TV show. But then like Grant's a huge influence in my life, and I owe him a lot. I owe him a lot, and he's only here for 2 more weeks. I get Pookie Bear for 2 more weeks, and he's gone in Florida. But he's done a lot for me. And then, like the rest of the boys, Kyle, Riley, Jaden. Oh, we losing you, Tim?
Yeah, he's kind of in and
Yeah.
out.
Or is it just mine? But even like what Riley texted or called me today, and I was just about to hop in the shower, and he was just like, "Hey man, like what are you doing?" Like just gonna shower. Oh, okay. Like, what are you doing? You want to come over? Me and Jack are probably gonna go to the gym. He's like, yeah. Oh, sure, let's do it. So that was cool to like be able to like get him out of the house and come hang out, go to the gym. And he was like, yeah, I really want to get back to the gym now and stuff. It was like, sick. That's good. It's good for you, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. That's kind of it. Oh, we lost him.
Lost him altogether.
He
Wow.
died.
Rest in peace, Tim. Sad.
It was good. It was a good run while we had him.
Well, he's got the link. We'll see if he comes back.
Yeah.
What, Jack?
He's probably gonna pop up in like 10 seconds and be like, "What'd I miss?"
Yeah.
For dramatic effect. Yeah. That's cool. That's awesome. Jack, what do you got? Anything come to mind?
Yeah, kind of a lot of like along the same lines as Jonas. A big one that comes to mind for me is like family in general. Family's been a huge part of my life since I was young. Our family's got a great support group. Everybody's super close, and probably like the biggest one that comes to mind right off the bat to get a little sappy is like Jonas, one of my best friends by far now, and it's like that's the kind of the unrealized gain I got out of married sister Bailey is Jonas. Like I remember when I think I must have been 14 time or so when you had everybody over to Courtney's house at the time, our house, to watch the football game, and I was video games in my room or something at the time, and you like walked in and introduced Jonas. I was like, "Who's this dude?"
Nerd.
My best friend that I've now lived with and has carried me through many things, and we've both gotten sappy to each other many times, and just kind of that group, and everybody in your family's always been so accepting of me and makes me feel like I'm just at home. That's kind of the great thing about our whole situation that we're in. But then we've got glorious Tim as well, who just jumped into like Grant.
He's back, and he's over there now.
Yeah, I changed spots.
Yeah, I mean, met Tim just kind of at the gym one day. I asked if he was done with the machine, and I think I cracked a joke saying, if he's not done yet, he could just bully me off of it or something like that. Because an absolute oxen, Jim, and his huge arms. But then, we just kind of randomly saw each other like that, and then, like you guys said, you walked up that one day when me and him were talking, and now you guys are great. Just this great group that helps support each other.
It is cool. I had an interesting view of, as you were talking, Jack, about like these different people that you're seeing. It's almost like you have like a chain you're just building your strength, you're building your support systems, and you walk up to a new person and you like ching, link chains, like, all right, let's go. I got you now. All right, now now on to the next person. Who can I keep building? And sometimes it comes out of unlikely scenarios, like you said. Like I started dating Courtney, and you and Jonas kind of got to know each other. Like, who would have thought, as you were playing video games at that time, that you'd be living together and literally helping each other through life. And it is really cool. It's really cool when we're able to have families that do mesh together and mix together, where you're like, you can come up to my grandma's and watch a football game and nobody bats an eye. They're like, oh, sweet, Jack's here, all right. Yeah. And vice versa. We're having dinner at your parents' house and Jonas shows up. It's like, all right. And Dave's like, where's Jonas? Like comes and gives Jonas a hug at the gym or whatever that was on his birthday. Like that's
and he rolled the door like, Dave!
Did you miss me? Did he go, did you miss me?
Yeah.
It's really cool when your worlds start to connect, and it's just like you
Yeah.
see your community come together. You're like, these are all the people that help make me who I am, and they're all helping each other out. It's just, man, how powerful is that? It's so special, and that's the essence of what this podcast is all about. Iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. Like, we're all trying to surround ourselves with iron, because if you start hanging around a bunch of rocks, like, you're just gonna end up getting dull. And sometimes the people that might be rocks in your lives, they may need a little guidance, and maybe something that you have can help sharpen them up into something better. When we're all able to come together as a community, especially in a time where it's so divisive, like everything is just divided. It's always arguments. It's blue versus red. It's black versus white. Like, that's just how it's been over the past few years, and it's sad. It's interesting to think about what could come together if people just started to link those chains and go, hey, we may disagree on things, but it doesn't mean that I can't be nice to you. It doesn't mean we can't be friends. How can we help each other out? How can we make each other better and stronger? And are we being who we would like other people to be for us? Like, are we treating people as we would want to be treated? Because I think at the end of the day, that's how we all get better. But
Mhm.
and enjoy life together. Like I said, like Tim said in the beginning, like it's not always about like going through that grind and fighting. Was it the bonsai?
It wasn't. It was my sparkling water, but it was empty. So
Okay, good. All right.
yeah.
We're
Oops.
all right. Are you okay? Everybody else okay there?
Yeah.
Do we need to come fight somebody? Do we need to get him, Tim? Where'd he go?
Yep. Yep.
Blink if you're in danger.
Exactly. Right. Somebody's doing this on the other side. Don't tell him I'm
Yeah.
here. But yeah, like I was saying, it's not always about being in the fire and in the grind. Sometimes it's just having somebody to enjoy those experiences with, like being at the top of where you are. When Courtney and I just had dinner, and she's like, "The dishes can wait. Come up and hang out and play with us." And she's like, "That's the highlight of my day is hanging out with Caden and you." And I was like, "Oh, all right." So I don't have to do dishes right now. I'm gonna lay here with you guys and play with Caden, like experiencing that highest of highs with somebody, or being at the Boundary Waters this last week. I was laying on a rock with my buddy Matt from high school. The other two had already gone to bed, and we just looked up at the stars with each other and didn't say anything at all, but just to experience that with another human is just it's special. It's a very special feeling to have people to enjoy life with and to go through life with.
Valid. Serving others is the path out of a lot of discomfort and a lot of sorrow and a lot of pain. And like, I would challenge anybody who ever listens, if they are feeling down on themselves, they feel like no one's noticing them. It's a level of insecurity of, I don't have people around who support me. So why, I mean, what's wrong with me, or whatever the thought could be. Go find somebody and serve them first and see what happens, and give that time and plant that seed, and then give it some water, serve them again, and maybe see what comes out of that as you plant that seed, as you water that seed. I would say that's a big part of specifically you and I, Bailey, how we've connected so much. And Jonas and Jack, it's coming. I don't really serve you guys a lot, and I don't really want to, but like, no, but that's honestly and genuinely a big part of it. And I would challenge anybody who's feeling down in the dumps about that, a lack of friends, a lack of connections, a lack of recognition. Go recognize some other people, and see how the chips fall.
I love that. End it with a challenge. Awesome. Well, I appreciate you guys. Again, hope you're able to get something out of it. I know I do every single time talking with you guys or talking with people that I have on here. So appreciate you giving the time, and we'll see you guys on the other side. Keep up the good work.